All right.
Okay, we have to close it.
We didn't close it last time?
Nope.
Okay. What the fuck's wrong with us?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't listened back to the episode with David because I'm so afraid that it's going to be such a fucking train wreck of
So
us
tell
just going
me,
blah, 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 blah.
what do you think is the problem?
I kind of shoved David out the door at the end. I was
Mm,
like, bye, we're done
yeah.
recording. But so much was going on, and I've been overstimulated since Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
happy Pride! Welcome to No Sad Face, the toxically positive Kingdom Hearts podcast. I am your host, PJ Calamity. I am here with my bestie, with my worstie, with my all-time thirsty. It's regular Pat. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, everybody. This is the Pride special.
Yeah, it
KH4
really
is
is.
here, and we're gay.
Yeah. Well, we're not.
I mean,
Actually, I'm the only
no.
person on this podcast today who's gay. I don't know. We do have a guest question that comes in. I don't know what the questioner's deal is, but
Right.
today we're all gay, and
We should
you
ask
don't have a
them-
choice in the matter. Hey, what's your, how do you,
See,
what do
if
you, yeah,
If we're recording in June, we just need to know for,
yeah,
safety
for tax
sake.
purposes.
Yeah, tax
Right, that too.
purposes. Yeah.
Oh man, I feel a little hungover because we've had quite
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a KH4 hangover for sure.
The Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer, it surprised us, and we recorded an emergency podcast thinking we're gonna fold this into next week's episode, and it took off in a way that makes me think that if you're listening to this and you're expecting that same thing, you're gonna skip through it, and it's gonna
Right.
hurt our analytics, and I don't want to do that, and it also kind of took up all the air in the room,
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want us to turn into I don't want this season to be overrun by news. So we do have a solution for that. It's gonna pop up sooner rather than later. Maybe, I guess it depends on what happens the next time we have news.
And I guess
hold tight.
it would happen during our off season too then, right?
Yeah, this is we're gonna. I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it before
Yeah.
it's ready, but. We're doing a brand new segment that is it's evergreen, except it's not. It lives outside of the regular show, and it's going to be
Right.
fun, and yeah, stay tuned. So aside from that, how have you been, buddy?
I'm good. I think when a KH4 trailer drops, that's just okay, well, I get free money that week.
Right.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
that's
And it's only
it's a
happened
little
twice, but isn't
yeah.
that great?
It's only happened twice, and I mean, people have actually been talking to me about this either in the comments or on stream. When do you, as somebody who made a video about how the KH3 trailers were so overdone and a bit overzealous, when do you stop watching these? And I was kind of getting called out for even watching the one that dropped. Someone was like, "Oh, this guy made a video about it, saying that maybe the trailers were a bit too much for 3, and now he's here watching this trailer for 4." And I'm like, "Well, mind you, didn't know it was going to happen." I was
But also,
there
your
to
thesis
protect
was they do this every time there's a
They
Kingdom
do.
Hearts game, so it's not just. I mean, whatever. Let people get mad. But I will say there has been quite the influx, not just with 4 related stuff, and this has been happening this month. Before the trailer even happened, something was in the air because
Yeah.
our Patreon doubled in a matter of weeks.
Wow.
So we're doing okay, folks.
Yeah, thank you
Thanks
guys.
to
Thank you
you.
so much.
And there's more stuff coming, and it won't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
Yeah. We're
and
all
it's going to be
All-Stars.
fun. Before we move on and talk about today's thing, I also wanted to just address a couple of little rumors that I don't think are news enough, but people aren't talking about, and also to clarify a couple things that we have talked about since sitting with the trailer.
Yeah.
Almost immediately after we recorded that, I took another look at that trailer. Guys, that Keyblade's not a Disney World Keyblade.
Yeah.
I'm banging that drum now. Sorry.
I feel like I've had this conversation 5 times since that trailer, and I can't remember with who or in what context, whether it was with you or on stream or what. But yeah, once I talked to you, and I think David and some others were in chat that day, we were looking at it thinking, we didn't talk about this after we wrapped with David?
We might have, but not on this
Not on the
show, and
air.
we're getting comments about it. So
Right, right. Yeah, I don't know. I would just be co-signing what PJ thinks about looking at it. The Disney iconography is not super prominent. I think
that
it's
was the
a
first clue. Yeah.
fairly generic kind of blade with missing
I'm just
link
gonna say this:
adjacent stuff.
there were many data mines about missing link, and a good chunk of it hit 4chan, I think, in terms
Yeah,
of the
that sounds right.
keyblades. And I've also seen some stuff on Reddit about it.
Yeah.
Missing Link had a robust elemental keyblade system. There would be one for fire, and one for water, and one for this, and one for that. And this looks like it's a combination of several different keyblade elements that I recognize from the Missing Link data mines, and also the base keyblades of Missing Link. You've got the light cage at the hilt. There's lots of little things about that as well. I mean, I could be wrong.
I think you're right, and I think, this might be a bummer for some folks, but I also think it's actually, if you look at it another way, like, it's a cool thing. If this is something where the build system is also letting you, like, mix and match Keyblade parts, like, that's really cool. If they both have, like, different abilities or modifiers, and you can, like, literally take two halves of something and mesh them all together, like, that'll be cool. That'll be a novel thing that we haven't seen in a game yet, so... And I also think, like, if it was Moana, it would be like they'd obviously be stepping on, whatever reveal they would end up doing later for that world. Like, I think it's like a gut reaction. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's possible that they did that with the Star Wars foot. We still don't know. So
they did it again, I think, in this last trailer. The we're having feather clip.
Oh, it looks like it could be Andor, yeah.
It's Endor. Like, it looks like it's Endor. Like, I don't know if it is, but...
Yeah, I was thinking, like, well, that could be, like, a very, like, tree-heavy, like, public park area, or, yeah, it could be
the
just a separate
structure
world.
that the hooded figure is standing under is kind of...
Oh, like the bunker thing?
The sussiest thing, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
Setting that aside, I also want to address a couple of rumors that I have not seen substantiated, but well-known leakers in their respective spaces are saying, believe it or not, this is the David Russell episode. Kingdom Hearts is having a collaboration with Rocket League. I cannot believe I'm saying that.
Yeah.
But apparently that's happening.
That was leaked, and I was like, okay. Yeah, that's just... I think that's proof that there's more... Like, obviously, the Kuji is in the air, and this trailer just came out, and some people are negative and saying, like, oh, this is all we got. It's just Quadratum again. It's going to be another couple years until anything. But maybe this is just me being positive and, huffing the copium, but... I think, like, they're ramping up to, infiltrate into every corner of people's lives and get stuff moving again.
Yeah, I mean, I warned y'all. About D23. I warned y'all about the Kuji. Everything I have to say is on the record. And I gotta also say, I know that you're right about being wrong, being great content. Your reaction was priceless. Whatever. Yeah. And I think that you and I have always represented a sort of duality, two sides of the coin.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love being right.
And wrong. Yeah.
Alex will tell you. And the chorus of our comments saying PJ was right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it's
I'm
great.
vindicated in a way that I've never... It's I never get told that. And it's just nice. Anyway, so that's it. That's the whatever. I do want to talk about music a little bit before we hop into the David Russell stuff, and also before we hit our patrons. Something that we didn't talk about at all with the music, and I'm just going to cover this part. You can hop in. You can talk about whatever you want. I do want to acknowledge Utada Hikaru. Most of what we talk about, all that we talk about, mostly is Shimomura and her compatriots.
Yeah.
Happy Pride. We love a non-binary queen
figure of royalty.
Yeah, Utada and her teddy bear best friend, who is also gay.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have been pulled into Kingdom Hearts as hard as I was if it wasn't for Simple and Clean.
Yeah, same here.
The song just, it hit hard. Utada, born in New York, probably arguably the biggest Japanese pop star in Japan. Like, it's crazy that we have them for this. It's crazy that we have gotten so many great songs. And we can debate about which one is better. I'm not really interested in that. I just think it's like a massive undertaking to do English, Japanese remixes, collaborations. Like, we've really been spoiled by some of the best theme songs in video game history. And God, I love Utada.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I've told the story too, but I never would have like I don't know if my attention would have been grabbed as soon as it was if not for Simple and Clean playing in that Disney Channel TV spot.
It's crazy that we have the same entry point on that.
Yeah,
That's,
the Siren
despite me
song.
being so much older.
I mean, I know you say that we weren't interested in ranking them, but for me, it's Simple and Clean, Sanctuary, Don't Think Twice, Face My Fears.
Okay, well, if we have to, for me, it is Simple and Clean, Face My Fears, Sanctuary, Don't Think Twice. Isn't that
Really?
crazy?
That is kind of crazy.
Isn't that crazy? If we're going to get really into it, it's Simple and Clean, Hikari Passion. Then, then it's Face My Fears. Then it's Chikai. Then it's then it's Sanctuary. Then it's Don't Think Twice.
What do you think about the Ray of Hope mix from 0.2?
Oh, if we're gonna do that, that goes straight to the top.
I love that. Yeah, I think that might be my favorite overall.
For a long time, Utada said they weren't coming back to Kingdom Hearts. A lot of people don't know that because I think that they kind of came into the series after that. But after 2, Utada and their father were both like, we are not working with Disney anymore. They don't pay enough. Part of the problem, too, was that the integrity of the work was difficult. Because, you write the song in one language and you have to translate it to the other.
Right.
And
yeah, try to keep the meaning or the
harmony,
rhyme.
the melody.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard, right? Like, Simple and Clean has a completely different chorus than Hikari, the Japanese version of Simple and Clean.
Can we briefly touch on the idea of like how much Utada's lyrics have to do with the game or the themes or the characters? I feel like that varies from game to game. Like I think I remember looking at the in-case booklet for KH1 because the lyrics are on like either the very front or very back, and like trying to see if these lyrics matched up with anything happening in the game. And I always remember saying, as soon as you see mention of meeting your father, I'm like, well, that's out because Kingdom Hearts hates parents. Yeah. That's not a part of this. But I feel like themes generally are maybe explored more intentionally in maybe a Sanctuary or Don't Think Twice. What do you think?
From what I can recall, I think English is written first, lyrically speaking. And I know that Nomura will give Utada ahead of time, like, kind of a synopsis of what's going on and what the major themes are. Right. And Utada doesn't play the games. Utada is not a gamer. Utada, like, I think Utada just likes Tetris and that's it.
Yeah, such a blessed existence.
Right. Like, they're not following the series. Like, they appreciate it, whatever, but they're not following it. So they lean into the themes and whatever. And I remember an interview where Nomura was like, I told Utada, like, please don't reference modern technology, please don't do whatever. And Utada was like, okay. And then the final lyrics of Hikari are turn off the TV and look at me. So I think Utada does not give a fuck. It is way more concerned with like the abstract of it, of like, growing up and the fear of that and your relationships falling apart. And, whether or not, like, you're ready to have, like, big conversations and whatever. I do think that you do see a through line, particularly with the Japanese versions of those 3 songs, and Face My Fears a little bit, being about the same relationship of, like, hey, we're young and, we're getting together and, like, isn't it great? And then, like, maybe we're breaking up, maybe we're not going to make it, maybe we've outgrown this, like, maybe who we used to know, like, maybe we're already off pursuing other relationships, maybe like, maybe we're reunited, and then, the last one is a marriage. Like,
Don't Think Twice
and Chikai are both basically the same song. I mean, they're a little different, but they're both talking about getting married, like having like an eternal vow, whether it's literal or not. So I do think that Utada is clocking the push and pull of relationships, which is ultimately what Kingdom Hearts is about. Even if it's not always inherently romantic, like the idea of like, can we survive this? We're pulled apart. Are we coming back together? Like, are we growing out of this? What is happening?
But I wonder if anyone latches on to maybe the romantic nature of the songs and tries to fit those lyrics into certain goings on in the games.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What's that? Just 1 second, Pat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Our lawyer said that this is not safe territory for us to cover.
Gotcha.
So this is like getting a little into shipping, and like we are not safe here. So
nope.
Good question. Good question. Good question.
Uh-huh.
Personally, I feel like it's all supposed to be very abstract.
Yeah.
Like we're really just kind of looking at like core feelings and relationship dynamics, but I wouldn't assign that to any group of characters in particular. I don't know. And Utada doesn't know clearly about like the broad strokes of like
Right.
that they're kind of told about, but I don't think that they I don't think it's not that they don't care. It's just that like
Yeah, it's just not part of their process.
The art is the most important thing in making a song about this or that or whatever. Yeah, so that's fun, and now we're gonna scuttle over to our box of heart binders. Side note: a lot of people are commenting about that Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer having a heart binder in it, and a couple people have said the only reason I remember what this is called was because of No Sad Face. So honestly, I feel like we did that.
Yeah, we brought the heart binders back in a big way. Because who gave a fuck about them after KH3? Nobody.
Well, I did. That's why I put them on the show.
Right. Yeah, because you're the one who chose the visual elements.
Yeah. Along with every other fucking visual in this podcast. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna get that ready, but first the Patreon corner.
Let's do it.
No Sad Face is brought to you by our patrons over at Patreon, and like I said, we are exploding. Happy Pride!
Boom.
Yes,
Yeah.
hi gays.
Hello.
A lot of gay furries. A lot of them.
As long as you meow at PJ's grandma, you're welcome here.
Yeah, and TikTok, because so our patrons, you can join if you want. You don't have to. We've always said that we don't need that. If you want to support the show, there's lots of ways. You could leave your comments. You can share it. Sharing it's probably the best thing, right? Because you want to get your friends involved, and if you're cool, your friends are probably cool, and we need more cool people around to kind of counterbalance the energy in the room.
Don't share us with your uncool friends.
Right. We all have those.
You all have a couple.
Okay, so one of the tiers is Patreon shout out, so let's get to shouting out. We're gonna I feel like we have to just cram more people in here because there are so many, and I want to get them all before the end of the season. So let's do some cramming. Happy Pride. Okay. First person, the professional yapper.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Boy, are you just yapping about Disney Channel.
Famously, in some cases, infamously, ran some Disney Channel trivias on my stream. I did not do great at that. Just to bring it back to Yapper, they did do a sort of spiritual successor to my KH4 World Watch series all about Disney Channel original movies, which I know is your greatest hell, but it is out there for anyone who wants to check it out.
No, I don't know your Yapper. I feel like people probably do that enough to you. Yeah. But there are some really, really good ones. My favorite decom is Cowbells.
Tell me more.
You've probably never heard of it. Okay, no. Ali and AJ?
Yes.
Okay, so this
roller
was their
coaster
decom.
Ride. Okay.
Sure. This was their decom. They play like two rich girls who go broke. And they're home alone when it happens. Like their dad's like on a business trip or something, and then the dad's business partner like runs off with all their money, and like they have to like run the company for like the summer and like get it back on track. And it's actually like, and things don't get like cleanly resolved. Like they don't get their money back. And it's a really like it's really beautiful and somber.
And it's called Cowbells.
It's called Cowbells because it's a milk dairy filtration thing.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably a lock. Yeah.
Thanks, Yapper.
Thank you, Yapper.
The next person is I don't know how to pronounce your name, so it's either Marcello or Marcello. Because I've heard both in the grand scheme of names, right?
Yeah. Marcella from SNL.
I don't know anything about you. I know nothing. You could.
Yeah, me neither.
This might be Marcello from SNL.
Yeah, maybe Bo and Yang got him on it. You gotta bring up Bo and Yang.
Could you imagine if Bo and Yang? Oh my god.
Do you think it's? I mean, I think Bo and Yang has probably probably seen my face and probably read something that you've done.
Well, he's so busy.
That's true.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, Marcello, I'm glad you're here. I'm really glad you're here. Again, I know nothing about you, but you are welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Next one is John F. I think I've seen you comment before. You're welcome. You're welcome here. Not you're welcome for the podcast, but in a way you are.
Yeah, you're all welcome for this.
Yeah, good job, John. Some of y'all don't have profile pictures and you aren't super talkative and we don't really have much of a rapport, but I do want to remind everybody, if you've signed up at the $7 level, we're going to be shouting you out. So if you have a preferred screen name, or if you want to tell us something before we get to your name, like, please do.
Yeah.
If you're subscribed to us at any level on the Patreon, paid, also you get access to our secret Discord server, channel rather, in Pat's server. It's not automatic because Pat's server is tied to his Patreon. So like you do have to like send me a message and let me know like what your idea is, or Pat, we're both amenable to it. Just let us know who you are on the Patreon when you do it. That way we can double check and make sure that you're not, sneaking in, but who would? Right?
It'd be so crazy, but I kind of respect it. Like, I think the first person you try is maybe we let them in.
We let them do it. Yeah. And everyone else is just going to fucking deal with it.
Yeah.
But
Whoever
that's
has
not you, John,
first.
because you paid.
Is it John with an H?
John with an F.
No, I mean, but like in the word John.
No, it's for John. No, it is John with an H. John.
I know there's a John F that's in my Twitch chat and in Patreon, I think.
I'm going to say his full name for you so that you can confirm.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. PJ has told me the full name, and yes, this is someone that has been in my chat and in my community for a long time.
I guess if they're on your chat, we can say it, but if this is your screen name, is your full... I don't know.
Yeah,
John.
we'll leave it at that. But
I have seen you in Pat's chat and stuff, and
yeah. Very cool.
This was not planned, but sirloin steak, actually, funny enough, is next on the list. And Sirloin has a question in this episode, and a little voice note.
And we've already answered it.
Yeah, and it was a good question.
It was.
It actually got us talking more about the music.
It did, yeah. It was good springboard material.
Yeah, Sirloin wrote to us last season about talking about the music, and of course we weren't ready about it, and we weren't going to do it this season, but then David said, talk about it.
I didn't do it!
So, yeah. We, at the very last minute, we wove that together, and I'm glad that Sirloin was able to get his question in that way.
Yeah, stay tuned, Sirloin.
Yeah, and thank you for being
thank you so much.
A valued member of our family.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next up is Medixum.
Medixum.
Or is it Medizum? Or is it Medizum? Or is it
Medizum?
That's it. I got nothing.
This is a new name to me.
The profile picture, no nothing. But darn it, you are valid.
Yes, you're valid and you're welcome.
So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We're gonna keep going until we hit someone that we can do a good break at, because a lot of these are just blank profile pictures. So
right.
Lichalope.
What
a fun name.
Like an antelope meshed with like a lich?
Yeah. Wow. Creepy. Scary.
Yeah, like the Gaston Heartless, like take the antlers from that and then you mix it with the lich from KH3. Kind of terrifying.
Yeah, but I love it.
Yeah, I'm glad we have someone like that in our corner and we'll stick the lichalope on them. Don't fuck with us.
But maybe we're doing this, maybe it's wrong, and maybe it's like Lychalope.
Lychalope, yeah, that's like, talk to your doctor if Lychalope has caused these side effects.
Or like it's some sort of like really rare Greek name.
Yeah. Cool tragic name. Figure. Yeah, I like that.
Sorry if we fucked it.
Yeah.
Last one, Alex R. Not my Alex.
Not your Alex.
Alex, I don't know if you're a he, him, she, her, they, them, or something new altogether.
I think Alex is the most powerful unisex name, by the way.
Absolutely. By virtue of having an X in the name.
Yeah, I mean, that just appeals to us naturally.
Yeah, as you know, I love Alex. Alex is...
Yeah, he never shuts the fuck up about him.
But it's actually, like, I think one of our most common patron names is Alex. I think there's like a lot of Alexes.
I have a couple of Alexes and a ton of Andrews. Andrews and Andys. That's like, I don't know, that's my number one. So maybe a couple of other Andrews or Andys listening could pledge to No Set Face.
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening and your name is Alex or Andrew or Andy or even Mike.
Yeah, Mike, John, Theodore.
Yeah. If you have a classic straight guy name, it's Pride. You gotta pay us.
Yes. And PJ will take that cut.
Yeah. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy Patreon. Oh, wow. It's always nice to take a break, you know?
Break time, doing some standing push-ups, some baton twirling.
We've already made that joke.
Did we?
We've already done that. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's only so many.
Definitely have.
There's only so many Kingdom Hearts jokes,
Yeah.
as
I'm
we know
surprised you
well.
didn't run out quicker.
I'm like the duck looking at his note cards. Donald doesn't heal. Pterodon.
I think we should use our heart binders and summon our next guest. How's that sound?
Yeah, let's get it out and rub it.
Okay, it's the international symbol for Discord, not the app, but like an unpleasant noise.
Oh.
So this is No, I'm kidding. It's the Project Destati symbol. It's beautiful.
Oh.
We're gonna summon our.
I wonder
our
which
friend
one of the
David
members
Russell.
we're gonna get. Oh, okay. The third one.
No, it's just David. Well, yeah, it's just David. He's the best one though. Massive ass though. We gotta move over.
Gigantic dumper.
Concentrate on it. Think about it real hard. Eventually,
think I
David
thought
will
a little
show
too
up
hard
and start
this time.
talking. Oh, don't poop your pants. Oh my god! Hi.
Hello. What's up?
Hello.
I hated that.
Aw, it's the little green requiem himself. It's David. Hi, David.
Hi.
Welcome to the pod. Finally.
Yeah, what's up? How y'all doing?
We let him out of the basement.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, David said you have to do a music episode this season, and I have to be on it. And then maybe a week before, I'm like, okay, we're gonna do it. He's like, oh, you should have someone else do it. I'm like, what?
My thing is like
That'd be silly.
I feel like I'm like not, I'm only as strong as the people around me. You know what it is? And like at this
So you're
point,
very weak today.
Oh.
That's what you're saying.
No,
Weak episode.
Yeah.
Weak ass.
But since Requiem started, like we have a bunch of music people, so I kind of get my fill every week.
Yeah.
They let me out.
David is kind of, he always laments that there aren't enough people who make content around the music of Kingdom Hearts. Kind of similar to a conversation that we had a couple weeks ago, where we had talked about how when we were first kind of in the Kingdom Hearts community, a lot of people who were actively making things were not like specialized. There were no niche interests within the niche interest, which is really funny to say about the music of Kingdom Hearts, because not only is it like, there's a lot of it, it's almost like universally loved, which is crazy. Like people should be talking a lot more about this. I'm a little sheepish too, because even though I have an appreciation for it, it was my favorite thing in Kingdom Hearts 2, if I recall correctly. I am not like musically trained. That's not true. I don't play instruments. Let me say that. So like sometimes when we're talking about musical theory, I just feel like I'm definitely out of my depth.
Yeah,
And
same
it's
here.
like song good, song bad, like this, like that, whatever. And I think that scared a lot of people. So maybe that's why there's not as many people talking about the music of Kingdom Hearts.
I think there are so many people in the space that are, classically trained and play instruments and know music theory. And so we often, defer to them. And I love hearing, obviously David has his series on Green Requiem about the music in each game. And I love getting that perspective. But also, it's good to talk about it in this holistic way of like, how does this make you feel? It's good to know, like, how these songs are arranged, but also like the emotions that they're trying to evoke. But I agree with you that like it's very intimidating at times. People have asked me to do videos about specifically the music, and I wouldn't know what to say outside of I like this, I don't like this as much, but I tend to like all of it a lot. Like as you said, it's basically batting perfect average for all the games.
Right.
But the thing about like liking music is like you can have all these words to describe the music. You don't, but like the language to describe why is just like the thing that people lack. But in the end, everybody has good taste.
Which was kind of the point of the podcast.
Yeah, sure.
Like when we first started talking about Kingdom Hearts, I wanted to talk less about like whether or not something is good or bad, but more about like a lot of people like these things. So let's discuss the heart of for lack of a better word, of the matter. And like what we like most. And for David, that's obviously the music. I wanted to kind of go all the way back because we really haven't talked as friends. We have not talked a lot about like your origin point for the series and for the music and how you like started getting involved. We have to talk about Project Destati. We have to talk about like when you started pumping stuff out. I know that you had told me before that you really weren't in the fandom, especially not to the extent that you are now, until around Birth by Sleep.
Yeah.
So, like, for you, when did you start like wanting to make music and do covers and like really like dive in?
Back in the day, like I had a YouTube channel called David Russell Piano Music. It's now defunct, deleted. But I used to upload just covers of whatever I was learning at the time there on that place. Then around by the time I had graduated, we're talking like 2010-ish, I made a sort of group of friends of fellow VGM artists on YouTube. These are video game musician cover people. So, and I felt like the only one who's like even interested in doing Kingdom Hearts stuff at the time, because everybody else was interested in covering, you know, Mario, Zelda, Sonic, whatever. The most like important thing I recall happening before Destati, you know, started was I read a book on orchestration by Rimsky-Korsakov. I still have it in my bookshelf over here, but I read that thing all the way through, and I was like, oh my god, I get it. So, and then I started trying stuff.
For people at home who don't know, what is Project Destati?
Oh man, okay. So Project Destati is it's a group started by me and two of my friends, Sebastian Wolf and Kristen Nagus. We met on friggin' Facebook. We were in similar VGM circles, right? This was before Sebastian ran Materia Collective, and around the time I think that Kristen had like started her first video game music recording gig. Like we were all kind of getting our foot in the ground. Those two, I'm much more impressed by Sebastian and Kristen. I'm over here just kind of trying to learn how to do orchestration. But like we met in similar VGM groups. And like we all shared a love of Kingdom Hearts, and at that time, I think KH3 had just been like announced, so the hype was real, you know. So yeah, I guess we just started talking about how fun it'd be to work together on an orchestration project, and it really kind of ballooned in the span of like maybe 6 months to like let's do 1,000,000 tracks and let's get a live orchestra, and so. And at this point, I can't orchestrate, and neither can Sebastian or Kristen. So we just kind of tried it. This is the folly of youth. Just try some stuff, and it works out, you know?
So wait, how many albums has Project Destati released at this point?
Right now, there's 3 of them. Three LPs,
That's
I should
cool.
say. There's a couple singles here and there between. But
So you got involved in the community, released music under Project Destati. You've been making music. You've been doing musical theory videos about the series and the history of the music under your Green Requiem YouTube. Interestingly, the Kingdom Hearts 3 episode is still not out.
Leave him alone.
interrogating me about my 5-year-old project that is not going to...
Well, you know, what is it about Kingdom Hearts 3 that you hate so much?
Wow. There's more music than KH3 than any other game, like by 3 times. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And each one is like uniquely scored to the cutscenes. So like it's just the style of music that has never been done by the series before, which is probably going to happen in KH4 also. But
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We can't go back. Talking a little bit more about the music itself, I guess it probably makes sense to start talking about the history of composition and how systems worked back then and yada, yada, yada. And of course, I think the best place to start is with the series' main composer, Yoko Shimomura, who started working with Square Enix in the 90s. She actually had a long career. I think a lot of people don't know that, but she worked on a lot of stuff before getting to Kingdom Hearts. Street Fighter, she worked
Mario
on
RPG.
Live to Live, Super Mario RPG, of course, huge one. Yeah, and of course Parasite Eve. Got to mention Parasite Eve. She did the whole soundtrack for the first game, except for, of course, this episode's not about Utada. Sorry, I'm just going to say that right now. We love Utada. Probably talk a little bit more about them elsewhere, or maybe at the beginning of this episode. Who knows?
But when people bring up the music of the series, they talk about Simple and Clean and then Dearly Beloved. And like the comparison between Utada Hikaru and Yoko Shimomura, where one person has done like 99% of the music compared to like the opening songs, like it's just, there's no comparison to that. But like people bring them up as like doing equivalent work, and it's not the case, and it makes me feel crazy.
Not to say that Utada, of course, didn't work hard on the theme songs, but it's a totally different thing. Yoko did the whole soundtrack for the first game. That's so much music.
Yeah.
It wasn't really until BBS where Ishimoto and Sekido got involved, right?
The early work, too, we've talked about this a little bit before, but they aren't using orchestras. They're not using, live instruments. They're working with the hardware and the software.
It's
They're
sequenced music.
using the PlayStation 2 to make music.
It was sequenced music. It was programmed into the computer, into a DAW or whatever. And I think they started using streamed music, which is to say like WAV files and MP3s and whatever, like exporting actual audio files starting in BBS. And then since then it's been all actual audio files. But before that, for the handheld games, it was sequenced out of the hardware of the games, or the systems, I should say.
Can you talk about how the songs, especially if it's changed, like, let us know. But in the early days, like, how did Yoko get tapped for this, and how were the songs composed? At what point was she brought in? Like, what's that relationship like?
Oh man, I might not be able to answer so well. There's so many interviews where Yoko Shimomura talks about her sort of like being recruited to the Kingdom Hearts team, but starting off by working, she went to school for piano performance or something like that. And then got a job at Capcom, then made Street Fighter 2, which blew up. Nomura didn't ask for her specifically, but like people related to Nomura said, who can we ask? There's this Street Fighter lady, she's really good, let's ask her. And then Nomura was just like, yeah, let's do that, sure. And she became the whole sound of the series. So
you don't know like when the songs are written, like at what point in development the songs are composed? I
don't. There is the common sort of thing where people say that the music of the series is like one of the last things. There's some truth to that, but I feel like it's made in conjunction with the development of the game, like the scenario design, the character building, the story writing. Like it's all kind of like it's not just saved until it's not like the voice acting where that is recorded last.
Shimomura and Nomura talk a lot about like their relationship and the back and forths that they have, and how it can be difficult, and how like he has notes. And so I do know that there is like an iterative relationship. It's just not possible that they do all the music at the end, because that's a lot of music. But also you have things like trailers, and you have things like demos, and
yeah, that's true.
They're working on shit.
These composers are not working on 99 tracks like Yoko Shimomura did for KH1. She has an interview where she says that she didn't want to reach triple digits and stopped right at the 99 track limit. It's like, I'm done with the music of the game. I'm done with it. Quit it. You need to have a team now to do kind of anything with especially if you're getting like live orchestra, you're getting live players. You need like a whole like the score writing team. Yoko Shimomura has like 4 or 5 different people that she calls to for different like helping with her tracks. So yeah, it is now a team of work instead of just like a solo kind of homogenized product like it used to be, which is just a different way of doing game dev. I remember like the FF7 Rebirth soundtrack being 400 tracks or 500 tracks when it was announced, and I was just like, what is happening over there? How can you devote that much money and time and resources to the music?
The music does a lot of the heavy lifting, especially in the early games, when in order to have like a very viable product, you have to have everything firing off on all cylinders. And you look at Kingdom Hearts and you look at its contemporaries, and Kingdom Hearts like aged really well. And I think the music is a huge part of why the games are so beloved.
What track do you play to just a stranger to tell them like KH music is worth your consideration?
As a thought experiment, what would be like, we're going to introduce this to somebody who's not acquainted at all with the series.
Yeah, what do you
like?
think?
What's the hook? As much as we like Dearly Beloved, I don't think that's the hook. Like it's iconic and it sticks with people. It's on the title screen, so you're going to remember it. But like, I don't think that's the secret sauce.
That's not the 1,000
like
words of to the two Xanderkind of KH. Hollow Bastion's a good pick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I would just play March Caprice. I think March Caprice for piano and orchestra.
I don't think maybe the soundtrack does a lot of heavy lifting, but like I don't. On the flip side, listening to it out of context, like I kind of think you need the atmosphere of also the visuals and like the pathos, the character work, the heavy lifting of all the other elements. Like this is why Kingdom Hearts is so impossible to replicate. It's because everything works really well in tandem, and if one thing is off or not present, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every element in, especially the music, is trying to. This is like my like thesis for the whole reason that I wanted to make the YouTube series that I did, is because the music is like telling part of the story, and people just kind of like. I get the sense that people are just kind of going into the soundtrack listening for bangers, and they're not thinking about like what the melodies are saying to like what is going on the screen, or how it's relevant for foreshadowing a future plot point, or how it connects to some previous scene in some other game. And I'm sure all this like registers unconsciously, I have to believe. But yeah, the whole point is like the music is narrative. The music is like telling this story. So pay attention to it. So is the character design. So is the actual plot. There's all these elements are, like you said, working together. And I just feel like just so often music is just thrown under the bus and just like, oh, it's a banger, or oh, it's whatever.
Kingdom Hearts is such a heavy character theme game.
Yeah.
That when people are talking about it, they usually are talking about the character themes.
Yeah, that's true. There are some motifs in the Kingdom Hearts universe that are not defined presently. There are some melodies that come here and there that are attributed to like one scene, or I'm trying to think of an example. It's kind of hard, but there's like there are melodies.
The Dearly Beloved, dun dun dun.
Yeah, what does Dearly Beloved
dun,
mean?
Dun.
That's what's the leitmotif of da 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 da. What does that mean? I think it's. I mean, to be completely safe, just call it a motif. You know, in my opinion. And Yoko Shimomura has said that Dearly Beloved to her as a whole track represents precious memories to her. And she also has the track Treasured Memories, which is part of a pair with Missing You. But yeah, to her, Dearly Beloved is precious memories. But functionally in the Kingdom Hearts series, that when you hear da 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 da, that means that light is present in the scene. Like light is affecting some kind of change. There are more specific motifs like this throughout the series, especially with Destati, which I've attributed to be like relevant to darkness. The themes of light in the series are so much more ambiguous and sort of like undefined compared to the themes of darkness, which are so crystal clear what they mean. Ansem has like a little stinger every time. Destati, when it shows up, is always relating to matters of the heart.
But because they're not attributed like super canonically to a character in the way that a character theme is, we have to do a little bit of the heavy lifting to
interpret,
find meaning.
Yes.
But you know, sometimes it's kind of frustrating, particularly for you. I've sat through a lot of these rants where they will randomly pick a song for a scene that does not work in the context of when it had originally been placed in the series.
Yeah.
Can I tell David my least favorite one of these?
Please.
Yeah, go ahead.
David, I hate in Dream Drop when you're fighting the Dream Eaters in Prankster's Paradise on the trampolines.
Oh, yeah, and they play Destiny's Force.
They play Destiny's Force.
Yes.
That is so inconsistent with every other time that song is used.
Yes, I hate it. Notice we're not talking about music theory at all. You as a layperson was able to detect the inconsistency. Yes, that's exactly it. And there's so many of these across the series. Not to say KH doesn't ever do it very, very well. Like I think there's a lot of moments in KH3 especially where like the music is just like the best it's ever been. It's for telling the story and sounding like auditorily like impactful. But oh man, I think my least favorite is another DDD one. They keep playing Road to a Hero for scenes that represent heroism, but the melody is Olympus. So, to play that melody outside of Olympus it makes me feel crazy.
There's like a Country of the Musketeers scene or two where they do that, right?
Yes. And I mean, they had previously introduced another equivalent theme, Cheers for the Brave in BBS, but they don't like to use that song. I don't know.
They don't use it.
I don't know why.
It's really fun when I'm doing like a video and I have to score some of these things that don't have music assigned to them. Like when I did these novel videos, like I have to like depict these new scenes and I'm like, okay, you know, Ansem Riku, Diz and Namine and Axel are like having this sort of tense conversation and I have to kind of like put myself in the shoes of the people that were like, you know, making the games to think like what song would they use here. It's a very fun exercise.
Yeah. I wanted to talk a little bit about the transition away from the PlayStation 2 era, because I think that after Kingdom Hearts 2 is when a lot of things obviously started changing for the series writ large, but in particular, when we're talking about the music, you start getting more physical instruments involved in the music. Can you talk about that shift?
I can, but I think maybe a fun like jumping off point of this is just to ask you both. Generally, what do you prefer, the new reorchestrated versions of the tracks or the MIDI sequenced versions?
I feel like I have such a, I think it depends in some cases, but I think because there was such a long gap for me from playing the games originally and then the remixes, like, and I've experienced the remixes for longer, I'm so much more attuned to those and used to those, that I found like that when I played the remix, like I wasn't thinking, oh, this sounds different than I remember it. But if you go back and listen, like, you know, my favorite track is Very Small Wish. I do think there's like a little bit more oomph, but also like coziness to the original, and like that's a track where I think I might slightly prefer. I know some people in my circle have very strong opinions on Lazy Afternoons. They hate the 2.5 version, which I don't see it.
Really?
I think it's fine.
Okay.
So yeah.
Who knew?
I think it might be a track by track situation.
Mm-hmm.
Very Small Wish is a good example. I think Welcome to Wonderland is a good example of something that sounded better in the PlayStation 2 days. Something like Waltz of the Damned or Neverland Sky or something. Yeah, He's a Pirate. Like, those all sound better with orchestration. I guess it's a question of scale. I guess it's a question of instruments. I guess it's a question of like
the atmosphere of the world too, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it does depend on a case-by-case basis with like what I prefer for the sequence music versus the recorded music. I generally, and I've told this to other people before, but generally I think that the slower field themes and character themes work better with the reorchestrated versions. But the punchier battle tracks work better with the MIDI sequence music. But all that to say, like, again, sound quality in these games doesn't really matter a whole lot to me. That may be where I differ from a lot of other music fans. But I think that the note choices, like the actual composition, is the important thing to me. Because, like, in the end, like, I'm a cover artist. I'm going to change the sound anyway when I cover it. So the way it's recorded doesn't really matter to me. That said, though, there are some notable differences in the way like KH3's score is presented compared to like 2.5, which is all done by like one orchestra. KH3's had 15 different arrangers and they all use different VSTs, so it's kind of like, it's subtle, but all the different strings sound different, all the different woodwinds sound different. You can kind of tell who did what throughout KH3, and it makes this kind of like homemade macaroni art kind of project of a game, you know. It's kind of fun.
That must have like really ballooned the soundtrack budget. Like that had to kill it. Like, that's incredible.
Why do you think that they got so many people when the game like DDD had just, you know, the core trio of Shimomura, Sekito, and Ishimoto? I guess it's because the game was so big. I don't know what the heck.
If I had to guess, my reading is a lot less charitable. In some cases, it may have actually been less expensive to hire people who have not been with the series as long to do some smaller things in terms of rates. Kingdom Hearts 3 had such a long development cycle, and, you know, everybody in this chat hates the myth that Kingdom Hearts 3 took 15 years or however long. But from announcement 2013 until release 2019, that was a long time. And the games did consistently show up at events, in trailers, and then in demos. It wouldn't surprise me if they had worked on it for so long that they had to tag people in and out who could not consistently work on it. Another fun aspect, I think, of the series is covers in terms of the Disney World. So them using Disney themes as world themes versus them making original stuff. I know that Shimomura has talked at length about like what the process is in terms of like trying to disconnect from the Disney things, but also like remember the Disney worlds when she's doing it. And I do wonder what makes them choose like, okay, now we're going to use an actual Disney song versus, okay, we're doing something new.
Yeah, this is something I think that you actually might know more about. Actually, both you and Pat may know more about this than I do, because
that's doubtful.
I have no idea. They'll sometimes pick a Disney song to arrange and use that as the field theme, and then they'll replace it with an original later. Or sometimes they'll have an original song and then they'll replace it with a Disney song later. And there's almost no consistency with this kind of a thing. And I don't know. I don't know what. I don't feel like it's a music licensing
I don't
thing
think they've ever commented on it.
That's probably true. It's also probably so niche and nitty gritty that no one cares to ask. except
something I have always heard is that people theorize that, you know, that alternate Halloween Town theme when you first get to Halloween Town in Cage 1, it's only there in the gate. Like people think that, you know, that was composed before they got the rights to use This Is Halloween, but they just kept it because it's like, well, she made it, might as well. I wonder if there's like a, you know, a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo precursor or an Under the Sea precursor that just didn't feel right, and they're like, you know what, let's just pull from the movies.
It's definitely more expensive to have them in the game, and I don't know a lot about music licensing, so like your first reaction to that, if you don't, it would probably be like, what do you mean Disney owns it, why do they have to license it? But soundtrack rights are actually a lot more complicated than that, even though Disney does
people that worked on it.
Yeah, like it's kind of a longer thing where they still have to involve, depending on the project, they still have to involve the people that composed and the people that did this and the people that did that. So in some instances, I do think the reason why some songs don't come back is because they just don't want to go through the rigmarole of the process.
A fun exercise would be to like look at all of the worlds that don't have any Disney tracks pulled for them, like Aladdin or you know, Beauty and the Beast has the titular song at the end of 2, but like imagine a Beast Castle that like adapts, like what would it adapt for its field theme and battle theme if it had to pull for the movie? Like would it be like a Be Our Guest, like an amped up version of that for battle, and then, you know, something like Belle for the field theme or something? Who knows?
That is an interesting thought experiment, but also like I do wonder like what the differentiation is, right? Because like Aladdin, like you were saying, like it also has a great soundtrack, and nothing from Aladdin has been used unless you count Melody of Memory. But then, you know, you have Winnie the Pooh, and you've got Bippity Boppity Boo, and, you know, these little earworms that are kind of coming in. Hate that Bippity Boppity Boo was taken out of the Union Cross Unchained Key version of Castle of Dreams. That's very upsetting. I've hated that.
My little one is 0.2. I kind of wish that, this is just such a minor nitpick, but I wish that Castletown had like a dark world.
I do too.
You know, that'd be crazy.
That'd be cool, yeah.
But I don't think Bippity Boppity Boo could ever fit because it is so wholesome and warm.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I do think a little bit of the motif of A Dream Is a Wish, very slowly, music box perhaps, would have done a lot in that setting. I think about that all the time, actually. Yeah. I'm very sad about it.
It is interesting which ones kind of get replaced. Like, you were talking, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo got replaced with Peaceful Hearts in Union Cross. So why that? And, like, if the idea was we have to save money, you know, why not just eliminate a drawing from the Disney library altogether in the games moving forward? But no, they didn't do that. They added You Got a Friend in Me in Cage 3. So what is the philosophy?
But I have to say, You've Got a Friend of Me is, I think, one of the only instances where before the world was announced, before it was even a thought, it was just like, no, that has to be the world theme for a Toy Story world.
I think You've Got a Friend in Me has like bigger, higher staying power and less aggravating qualities by the time you're through a whole Disney World of it.
Do we want to talk about the concerts? Because I feel like this is probably the main and probably only place to talk about the Kingdom Hearts concerts over the years and what those have been like and whether we've gone to them and, you know, the experiences. There have been a few. David, do you know these offhand, or am I going to have to look them up?
As far as I can, let me know if I missed one, but there's the Cage World Tour. First Breath, Second Breath. There's the KH3 one. What is that called? World Tour? Again?
World of Trace.
World of Trace, right, okay. And there's also some other instances where there have been like live orchestra, but they aren't like advertised as Kingdom Hearts orchestra concerts. They're usually like Yoko Shimomura's discography concerts. I'm talking about the Symphonic Fantasies, Tokyo, and then the other one that they recorded in Cologne, I think, Germany. I went to 2 of them. I went to the World Tour, and I went to a World of Trace, I believe. The First Breath, which is wind and brass, is exclusive to Japan, so I didn't go to that. But I went to the concert where they showed what trailer was it? This was at E3. Yeah, it was the orchestra trailer. The orchestra trailer with the "Don't believe your dreams can be whatever" fantasy. He said, "Put your phones away," and half the audience did. Yeah, that was sick. But
that orchestra trailer was nuts. Like, kind of a similar situation to what happened yesterday. Like, trailer dropping, everybody freaking out, drop being over. So you met Yoko Shimomura at the concert.
Yeah.
Like, this is the point that I'm getting to, y'all.
Yes. So I built a music box that played Dearly Beloved, and I filled it with some KH merch, like our albums and stuff. And then we stood in line and got to see Yoko, got her to sign the concert book and the album, and we all took a picture with her. And
okay, cool. Excuse me for a second. Future David, can you use the picture of Yoko with her tongue out? I think that's the best one.
Yeah, okay. That's really fun. This is the origin, by the way, of the picture in Requiem where Yoko is like, it's Yoko wig. It's one of these.
Put that up as well.
Show that.
So she doesn't speak English, right? She's not.
Correct. Yeah.
Did you have an interpreter, or did she? You just kind of fumbled through it.
She knows a little tiny baby bit. She also had an interpreter on the side, and so we would talk to her, and her interpreter would like tell her, and yeah, she'd be like, "Oh, well, that's so nice." So she's really cool. Yeah.
She seems like a lot of fun.
So nice.
She's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to get to one.
Yeah, for sure. Like, what's up with that?
I wonder if they'll do one for KH4 music, because they lately they've been doing a thing where they, like the World of Trace was a celebration of KH3's music. So I kind of wonder if, like, with the long production of these games anymore, KH4 might have its own kind of thing.
I'm sure that they'll have a Kingdom Hearts 4 one that like will coincide with the 25th anniversary. Like, that seems like a no-brainer.
Like a layup, yeah.
So in talking about the direction that Kingdom Hearts 3 is going in and Kingdom Hearts 4, we do have a little bit of Kingdom Hearts 4 music. We've got Reality in the Dark. And I think a lot of people are kind of just assuming that Yoko's, going to be back in the same capacity, but like trends are kind of indicating that perhaps her role is diminishing over time.
That is true.
How do you feel about that, David?
This idea that Yoko is doing less and less over the years seems to be confirmed if you look at the credits for the KH3 music. She did, where's my spreadsheet? I think she did like 20 tracks in KH3. And by the way, the soundtrack is like 400 large.
Yeah.
She did 18 new tracks for KH3. She did 88, but all the other 60 are from other games. So,
as the finale to a multi-game saga, that's somewhat to be expected.
I guess so. It just seems really really few compared. But KH3 was a celebration of the whole series. So like it makes sense that you show up, you like repeat melodies to remind the player, of the journey we've had so far, Ansem style. But yeah, Yoko is kind of, not able to make 99 tracks anymore like she could in KH1. And I only feel like her role in scoring the series is going to kind of further diminish. With KH3, we saw the emergence of 15 other composers. These are the people who worked on Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, and probably the last one. And I feel like that team is probably still going to be used with KH4. So the music direction of KH4 is going to be, I think, similar to KH3's.
A lot of people are also assuming that it's just going to be Versus 13 again, which Yoko would have been the composer for that game if it had finished. And a lot of those motifs were worked back into Final Fantasy 15. There is evidence to suggest that there will be more Versus 13, for lack of a better word, motifs folded into Kingdom Hearts 4. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, there a tiny little baby bit of Somnus was in the track Secrets of the Night. And Nomura actually commented about it in an interview where he said, I heard what you did. I think that they're going to use Shimomura for like the big hitters though. Like the Reality in the Dark is going to be maybe like one of the first songs you hear in KH4. She'll do a couple field and battle themes here and there, but I don't think she's going to do very many boss themes if KH3 is any indication. And I think she has a very competent team of other musicians who can kind of do her thing.
Shout out to all the other composers that have worked on the series over the years. Do you think there's a clear-cut successor for her? Or
oh man,
do you think it's just going to be...
No, I don't think she has a successor. She doesn't have a successor. But what's going to happen with the KH team is instead of 16 people, it's going to be 15 people.
That's the saddest thing you've ever said.
Sorry, that's just what it's going to be. I'm just like getting the sense, like in the same way that Uematsu stopped composing for Final Fantasy for FF, was it 10? 10 was the last one he did? No, he did 9 was the last one he did. Yeah, I think Shimomura is just kind of slowly letting go and letting her other collaborators kind of like, okay, I've built this foundation. You all take it from here. That's kind of the sense I get.
Kind of wrapping up, we do have a question from one of our patrons. It's a voice note. So I'm going to play that.
Hi, PJ and Pat. Before I start, I want to say that I am a avid consumer of video game soundtracks. Personal favourites include Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon. Tetris Effect is one of my favourite soundtracks of all time. And I truly believe, I am a firm believer in the power of a game soundtrack to completely transform the product. The mediocre can become good, while the great can become absolutely exceptional. It doesn't always work, and Kingdom Hearts is no exception to this. As much as I love Yoko Shimomura, not every track hits. So my question is twofold. Firstly, if we were to separate battle tracks and world themes and keeping the main themes like Dearly Beloved and Sanctuary out of the equation, what do you think are the greatest pieces of Kingdom Hearts music that you cannot help but feel in awe of? Conversely, are there any pieces that don't work as well as they could and you get tired of? For me, out there choices like All for One from Country the Musketeers, Hunt of the Dark from BBS, and The World Within from 0.2 are three pieces I feel are sorely underrated, while my least favourite pieces are all linked to Tron, especially the turgid music used in the grid in Dream Drop Distance. It's just miserable. Thanks for the joy, the laughter, and being genuinely the gateway to me being part of the Kingdom Hearts community. Thanks very much, Sirloin Steak.
That's a good question. It's a fun question.
Neverland Sky is a big one for me. I really love that feeling of, because it just plays at the clock tower.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's very like weirdly joyous at a point in the game where
it's getting darker.
About to get like not so joyful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love, Isn't It Lovely? Love that whole thing, especially coming off the heels of Under the Sea as the world theme. It's very chill. It's really, really pretty. It doesn't step too much on the other songs that are happening in that world. We didn't even talk about Atlantica. Very Small Wish is one of my favorite songs from Kingdom Hearts 1. I know, Pat. Pat and I probably have that in common.
Have you listened to the Twinkle Twinkle Holidays arrangement from Yoko's Dramatica album? Yeah. That's a combination of...
I first heard that on stream. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Have you listened to the whole album, Pat?
I have not, no.
Oh, there's another one. The 13th Anthology is sick. It's crazy. It's a really medley of all the battle themes. This was the track that got me into making Kingdom Hearts covers, by the way, back in 2008. Wow. I listened to that and I need to do this also.
Wow. Yeah. Well, what is it about that made you want to do
the 13th Anthology is a masterpiece. I don't know if I can even describe why I feel that way, but I feel just the way that the melodies flow into one another. These are all different tracks from different eras, different games, and they all work in a way that feels like the track is a connected thing. I guess I'd never heard KH music live like that before, but in the same way that Aid1043, a previous guest, made a video on the most satisfying moment in KH music history is that gong in the Lord of the Castle portion of 13th Anthology. That moment in the track is holy God, what the hell's happening? It's amazing. That's not a KH game song, but that is one of the greatest pieces of music I think that little baby me had ever heard at that point.
High praise.
Battle theme really quick, and before I forget, and then I'll let you guys keep talking, and Pat can give some answers if he wants. I don't know.
Sure. I haven't. Yeah.
A battle theme that I love is Dismiss. I really. Sometimes I think that the use of motifs in Kingdom Hearts can be emotionally manipulative on... Yeah,
ham-fisted sometimes.
I don't know. On the border of ham-fisted, right? And sometimes I'm okay, whatever.
I get it.
Dismiss is one of those ones that I'm that gets a pass because of what's going on, how heavy it hits, and if you time it right, the bits of terror that kind of happen in the moment, struggling to get out, are really beautiful. Especially if you time it to the point where like Xehanort turns the Keyblade on himself, and then Terra starts falling in the darkness. And the violin starts playing. Oh, it's so good. It's just really good. I don't really get like pumped about battle themes that much, but that one.
Yeah, I tend to feel the same way, where I often find myself like putting on field themes or character themes more often than the battle music, because I feel like that is like, outside of Dearly Beloved and the opening songs, I feel like fans, or even just gen gaming pop, they tend to latch onto the more hectic and high energy, high octane battle tracks, especially end game boss fights. I will say, like, as somebody who, is a bit of a Cage 2 detractor, I love Darkness of the Unknown. I think even down to how it feels in comparison to a Guardando nel Buio, like the juxtaposition or the comparison of like how monstrous and organic and like biological the world of Chaos is, and how like human it feels, compared to how much more like mechanical and methodical and like varied Darkness of the Unknown is. Like I feel like it really highlights that difference between like how like gross and sinewy and fleshy the end of the world stuff is, and how like artificial and constructed World of Never Was, and Xemnas's big nobody ship feels. Like I feel like that song really it really encapsulates that mood. And that's why I don't make videos about music, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
That.
But I'm just going off of
that
feelings.
That was amazing, making me cry.
Oh, thanks, David.
The whole thing about Darkness of the Unknown, and it's like emblematic of Yoko Shimomura's style in general. She does this thing where she has like the raving, roaring backtrack with a million instruments doing like crazy texture work, and then a lone soloist on top of everything singing some like forlorn melody. That's what Darkness of the Unknown is, with the violin solo, and there's at 2:19 in the track is when that violin solo starts. For some reason, I had that memorized.
He knows the timestamp.
It's it's the greatest track ever made. I love Darkness of the Unknown.
Yeah,
I was going to say something else. You had mentioned before that you don't really put on the battle music very often because of one reason or another. Yeah. I also think that for just general listening, sort of character themes and field themes are just something that is just nice and reminds you of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, it's easy listening, yeah.
There's an interview where Shimomura says that the battle tracks in Kingdom Hearts are the cornerstone of the series. And Sekito heaps crazy praise onto... Sekito heaps crazy praise onto Shimomura for being able to make cheerful battle music, because he says this is like a complicated, hard thing to do. It's so easy to just throw a billion instruments and just put a drum beat on it, and I got a battle track. But
that's what everybody's doing now. Yeah, you watched any of these game showcases this week? It's like everything's the fucking same.
Yeah,
there's no art style and there's no like music style. I don't know what word you would use for that, for the equivalent, but like
slop.
It's I wouldn't even say, because slop is so associated with like low effort. I'm not saying that people aren't putting effort into these, but like there's like no texture to any of it. Like it's all just so falling through the cracks. Like it's just there to accompany your ears as you play the game, but not really meant to like convey a feeling or a memory in the way that I think a lot of these more like David said, playful songs, like there's an energy of joy and fun in these tracks.
Yoko Shimomura, this is I think the reason that I really, really love her work and why I've latched onto it. She has like an understanding of like the specificity and the nuances of like a single instrument, and like all of the world of complexity within just like an oboe, and like all the extended techniques an oboe can do, or like a violin, all there is like an emotion with this single instrument that is just like you cannot even approach it by having a wall of sound like a lot of other media properties do. They'll just like do this big Hollywood huge thing, which is cool sometimes, but like the single instruments roaring above everybody else, like this is the most important thing. Pay attention to that piano, or pay attention to that oboe or that clarinet. That's Yoko Shimomura gets it, because she's like she sees that every instrument has like a different role, and she exploits that to give it like a melody that like makes it the star of the show, rather than here's the 14th wall of sound for a battle track like ever you've heard for the 2000th time this week. So yeah, she's cool. What was I saying?
Well,
She is cool. She's a neat lady.
She's neat.
this is a really successful episode. I want to thank everybody for not mentioning Vector to the Heavens at all.
We did a good job.
We love you, Kina. You know, come on the show at some point. Talk about things.
Yeah.
Maybe next season, I don't know. Yeah.
Our doors are open.
Top of days.
But our hearts are closed.
Very closed off.
It's from the Buffalo.
Anything else we want to talk about regarding the music before we sign off? No?
You know,
Yes.
let's just a fun little question for David. Let's say your top pick for a Disney World, not really based on the characters of the world
Based
or
on the
anything of the
music?
story, but like based on what you think would be good
Yeah.
for music.
I got one
Ooh.
locked and loaded. You ready? My shotgun is
Oh my
fine.
god, he has a gun.
Yeah, Aristocats. I think that would be so sick. The Aristocats soundtrack is awesome, and to hear Yoko Shimomura do kind of like New Orleans style jazz or something would be awesome. And she's wanted to forever.
Right,
Her favorite music is Latin music, you know, and not that New Orleans
Okay,
jazz
so
is Latin
then
inspired.
maybe compromise Princess and the Frog for something that's kind of jazzy and maybe actually
That'd be
realistic
awesome.
and viable.
That'd be great too. Yeah,
It's
for sure.
Paris. It's not
like
the
them all.
same.
I like them all.
It's the closest we can get, PJ. Well, they're not going to do a world based on the movie with the racist Chinese cat.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they might just cut out the cat. I mean,
they
listen,
will.
if we're gonna get ticky tack about it, using one of your favorite words, Aristocats has Kingdom Hearts representation, and Princess and the Frog
true.
does not. So
That's true. You can dress up as like Marie and Union Cross, right?
and 0.2. Aqua has Marie cat
A
ears in
console
0.2.
game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I just want to
So-
hear Yoko have a big band. Give her a big band. You know, that would be awesome.
Okay,
You'll do it.
I would if I could. I don't
Do
know
it,
a big
PJ.
band.
Hurry up. Send the Patreon money to
Come
Yoko
on.
Shimomura.
I'm so sick of PJ fucking sitting on his ass.
Well, if I wasn't sending all of our Patreon money to David, maybe I'd be able to afford a big band.
Me and my cat are
Yeah,
starving.
David, stop
Starving.
Stop deserving compensation for your work, asshole.
Yeah, God. Maybe Tut can sit
a
out
dick.
some caviar. Maybe Tut
What a
doesn't have to
dick.
get.
He needs his daily
fucking salmon.
caviar every morning. He needs a little tub of it.
He is small, but he is powerful.
Like Keynote.
God.
Shout out to all of our little boys. Okay,
Yeah.
that was weird. Never mind.
This one's for
Bye.
the little boys. Bye.
Put that on Patreon. God.
We did it.
Oh,
That was
okay,
good.
bye, David.
Good episode.
Good job, guys.
Okay. Well, that was David Russell, everybody, our frequent collaborator. David,
Yeah.
if
Even
you,
frequenter editor.
that's true. David, speaking of which, if you want to edit in where we can find you right now, feel free. But if not, it's in our links, you guys. You know David.
Yeah, you'll find him.
This has been another episode of No Sad Face. Thank you for listening. We try to post every other Saturday. If this is your first time listening, welcome. You can find all of our content at nosadface.com. It's got all of our links, all the places you can listen to the show. It's got our socials. It's got Pat's
socials.
stuff. It's got my stuff. It's got David, who does our editing for the videos. He also does our music, and he was our guest today. All of his stuff is on there. It's got Esper Roba's links, who does our incredible art, and any other guest that we have ever had or will have is also on there in a fancy spreadsheet that has all of their stuff. So yeah,
Oh, neat. That's new to me.
yeah, it's there. David made that for us. Isn't that cool?
Oh, thank you, David.
Yeah,
he
thank
does
you,
so much.
David. He does too much, I think.
Yeah.
He's always doing too much. We also have a Patreon. It's on the links as well. Give it a spin if you want. If you have any questions, we read out questions every episode. Please send them to nosadfacepodcast@gmail.com, and we'll get to them if they're good.
Yeah. If they're bad, we'll throw them away.
Yeah, we're going to print them out if they're bad. We're going to light them on fire
Yeah.
and then send them to your
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, you're gonna get a
got
box
dark.
of ashes.
Yeah, not active fire, just ashes.
No, yeah, just post fire.
Right. We don't want you to get hurt, but we want you to know that your opinion
No.
is trash.
You feel shame. Feel shame. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay, bye. How
Good.
unhinged. How horrible.
Yeah, the hinges fell off.
Yeah. Were they ever there?
No, this was Hingeless from the beginning.
Yeah, that's the charm, I think.
Yeah, I've never been on Hinge, but
Was I ever on Hinge? I guess I tried to at some
I was
point.
never on. I downloaded Tinder the day I got dumped by my high school girlfriend, and then I never did anything, and I deleted it the next day.
Yeah, I've been on almost
Lost my
everything.
nerve.
Yeah, yeah. I met Alex on Grindr,
Oh yeah, I remember you said that.
but then
Yeah.
like we didn't do anything and we didn't date for 6 years. So
Right. Hardly counts.
I don't think so. Happy Pride. You probably wouldn't want that in the podcast.